Hey guys, good afternoon, huh? What an exciting day. I got up this morning and my alarm went off at 2:30 and I was getting ready to go to the gym, and I checked my accounts and I was like, holy cow, man, there's some serious movement. And there was a serious sell-off. Yesterday, I mentioned the story. I don't know if I did it on here or just on TikTok, but we saw a story that the SEC and a task force was getting together to look into crypto. And I guess it passed the House and it's moving on to the Senate. And then this morning at 9 a.m., there was an announcement that they're going to increase capital gains tax, federal government. And basically they're going to increase taxes across the board, And it's funny that the sell-off started at about 1 a.m., but that announcement didn't come out until 9 or 10. So it's just kind of like, there definitely were people and the word was getting around to other countries. But, of course, that wouldn't be considered insider trading, or if it is, it's just, there would have to be other laws because crypto is not a security according to what's happening right now in the courts. Now that's a whole other can of worms that we're not going to get into it. But with the capital gains increase and the regular tax increase on a federal level, and then you have state governments talking about a billionaire's tax. I mean, this is going to scare away big money. These guys are going to go to Portugal, where your crypto doesn't get taxed. You know what I mean? Even little guys are going to go to Portugal or go to another country if you're not going to have to pay, 40% of your gains to have to give it to the government. And you have to go there for over 6 months of the year. People will do that. They'll do that. And it's not like the United States has been super safe lately. There's riots and killings all the time. So, I mean, you gotta look at what would you do if you were in their shoes? You know what I'm saying? And the administration, the current administration, the past administration, all they want to do is stay in power. That's all they care about, is keeping their power. Just by making Washington, D.C. the 51st state. It's just to stay in power. And the other side of the aisle would have done the same thing if it would have helped them stay in power. And it's just like, it has nothing to do with the people. It's nothing to do with them, But, you have to take into account that the SEC was started for good reason. There was a big crash of 1920. There was no oversight to investing and trading. And, a lot of people got hurt because a lot of people didn't completely understand it. And there were bad actors. There were bad people, guys. And, I'm not happy with the token sphere right now because, anyone could copy and paste code and start a token. If they give it a catchy name, if it catches on in the right circle, they can sell off and walk away with, millions of dollars in a day. You know what I mean? And that's awfully tempting to people. And it's really is multi-level marketing. It really is a pyramid scheme because the guy at the top gets new people to get new people to get new people, and they all kick in money, and then the top of the pyramid gets paid. And the first investors, say the first 2,000 people that buy this token, they're like the people at the top of the pyramid, And then they go out and they hold conventions and they say, wow, da, 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 da. I don't know if you guys have ever been to a pyramid or one of those a multi-level marketing convention. I don't know if you've had friends that have gotten into it, but it's pretty sad, because it's almost like a cult or a religion. These people are so into it. It's all they talk about. And they never talk about the product they're selling. They're just talking about recruiting new people. And that's why I like HOGE so much, because HOGE isn't just pushing this coin. We talk about the donations. We talk about helping people. We talk about helping animals. That's what HOGE was, the foundation was built on once the original developers gave the keys over to the community. You know, that's what we wanted for HOGE. We wanted it to help people, to help animals, to help anybody that needed help, you know. That's why HOGE is great, and that's why I love HOGE so much. Now, with this big sell-off that happened, HOGE handled it great. HOGE didn't drop below 0.0002. And I mean, that's amazing, guys. You know, Bitcoin dropped down to below $50,000 a coin, you know. And HOGE hung right on there, and then HOGE started going up. So I'm super happy with how HOGE handled this sell-off. I mean, it was great. You know, it was great. It didn't drop to, you know, Tripos 1.5 or something crazy. It held above 2. And that's awesome, guys. That's awesome news, you know. I want you guys to know, and you have to always remember, you don't lose until you sell, especially with something like a token, a coin, a stock, right? If you buy at the wrong time and it goes down, it's not like playing a hand of blackjack or a pot of poker, right? When you lose at one of those gambles, you lose. But when you buy a token, like for instance the Pokemon token that I bought, Pikachu, I held those billions that I bought, and 4 weeks later, they 10x'd in value when there originally was a rug pull, you know? So you don't lose until you sell, guys. And you have to keep that in mind. If you get discouraged, just remember, you have 10 million whatever tokens you bought. You know what I mean? And you don't lose until you sell them. And I try to not even look at tokens on a value in fiat. I say I have 10 million HOGE coins, and I just stack the HOGE. I stack Satoshis. You know what I mean? I just stack these coins, and I try not to give it a direct correlation with fiat cash. Because when you stack these coins, you're stacking coins. You're saving money, essentially, you know? And unless something extremely big happens, you know, those are going to have a value for some time. Now, with the government, you know, and the SEC getting into the crypto sphere, there could be big changes. I mean, look at the announcement was yesterday, and then there was another announcement this morning, and it totally affected the stock market, the crypto market. I mean, this was big, and it wasn't even a definite law change. It was just talk about changing a law, you know. So, you know, people that have been doing this for a while, when it's in print, it's usually too late. So everyone tries to get the first step. And what I'm scared of, to be honest, is that now that there was a dip and Bitcoin went down to under $50,000 a coin, people might see that. And when it starts going back up, I think we might get even more investors who weren't even involved in crypto at all, may not even be involved in stocks at all, but it's going to push these prices way up. And then when certain people, then it goes down because, you know, people that try to move first are going to end up taking money from those people that have no experience. Then they're going to go whine to the SEC. They're going to go whine to the government. Then the government is going to get involved. Now, I know I love DeFi. I love HOGE. But the ability to start tokens is too easy. Anyone could just copy and paste and make a token in a couple minutes. And that's not good, guys, because if there's bad intentions behind a token, or not even that, it's just not thought out. You know, if you just don't think it out before you do it. And you might not even have bad intentions, but it could seriously hurt people. Now, anyone that's investing needs to know I could lose all my money tomorrow, but a lot of people don't think like that. And a lot of people will go, or they do even know that, but they're going to still complain and they'll go whine to the government. And then the government will try to shut us down. And that's something we need to be very careful about. And all these bunk tokens, they're not going to help it, guys. It's just like multi-level marketing. I mean, it's like there's a guy at the top of the pyramid, and there's a first row of investors, and then they keep pushing it to other people to sell, 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 and and it's going to make the price go up, but it looks just like a multi-level marketing scheme, and it's going to attract the ire of the SEC. And now HOGE has, we have our donations. We give out donations. We help animals. There's a strategy, a meaning, a movement behind HOGE, right? But other tokens don't have that. I mean, other tokens are admittedly, pyramid schemes. They're admittedly poo coins. You know what I'm saying? So, it's going to attract the SEC. It's going to attract the government. One, they want their cut. They want their tax money. And you can say, I forgot the password and not pay it. But it's going to attract them, and it's going to put the spotlight on you, and it's going to put the spotlight on all crypto, especially when some housewife loses $50,000 on PooCoin. It's going to get the government looking, and that's not what we want. The last 4 years have been great. We didn't have the administration, whether they were involved in crypto themselves, whether they were busy with just the news complaining and saying this and saying that, I don't know. But they didn't, really get on crypto. And I was really surprised that there weren't more laws. Because any administration, all they care about is keeping their people in power. They don't care about the people, the American people. They care about keeping their administration in power like a football team. They just want to win the Super Bowl. And the election is the Super Bowl. And it's terrible, guys. It's really, really bad. But laws and an increased capital gains tax, it's going to make crypto investors and people that can work from a laptop, it's going to make them leave the country and go to other countries. Because you could go to another country and live there for a week, and if it starts going good and it's okay, hey, try it for 2 months. 2 months go by and it works good, try it for 6. And before you know it, you're an expat living in Portugal because there's no crypto tax. And the government needs to take this into consideration before they have knee-jerk reactions and start passing laws trying to get taxes or trying to shut down cryptocurrency. So, and if you look at even Nigeria passed a law, and I guess it banned exchanges or something like that, and all the exchanges let all their clientele know to shut down everybody's account, give them their money back. You can't have crypto exchanges anymore. But all that led to was peer-to-peer crypto exchanging. So people are literally exchanging crypto on their phones with people they know. So people are going to get around these silly laws. And especially if it really is a silly law and it doesn't have any base in something that needs to be fixed. And there are a lot of things like NFTs, for instance. I always was like, why are these prices of these NFTs so high? Now it's starting to come out that it's the same groups of people pushing prices up, and the person that wins isn't one of them. So there's a lot of things in this sphere that are bad. There's a lot of bad actors, and we need to keep that in mind. This is the Wild West. The world of crypto has not been tamed. Now, it may be someday, and hopefully it can be done without destroying the market, the crypto market, okay? Because, crypto is great, especially for people that aren't involved in stocks and they don't want to get involved in stocks. But it's something for a younger generation, and I think that's wonderful. I think it's wonderful that they have an investment vehicle, It's just over the past 3 months, 6 months, the gains have just been so intense, and if you look at similar charts, if you look at the .com crash of 2001, I was a teenager at the time, but boy, that .com crash, that took down major companies. Major companies were taken down because of all those silly websites that were getting listed on the big stock exchanges. It literally brought down my company. It was a top 3 in the country utility company, and it brought it down. And my stock option was worthless. worthless. And like I said, I had just entered the workforce. I had just entered a corporate job. And it really, really destroyed me. It destroyed all my savings. And luckily I was young, and luckily I learned from it. And what I fear is that the amount of money that just flooded into crypto in the past 3 months, it's not going to, the people dumping are not going to be, people that work and have 9 to 5s. It's going to be big investors. And when they start dumping, it's going to bring the whole price down. And all the people that invested in the last 2 months, 3 months, say before we really hit the end of the bull run. I think that was in March, right? Those people are going to be left with a bunch of tokens. Now, granted, they still are going to have their millions or whatever token they bought, but the exchange to fiat is not going to be so high, and they're going to see that, and it's going to make them bug out. Now, if they realize, hey, if I hold on to this for a year, anything could happen. A lot of them don't think like that. If they think, well, I was worth 5,000, but I could get rid of it for 500 now, they're going to take the $500 instead of just letting it sit, because a lot of people don't want to see that small amount of money sitting in their account. It makes them bug out. I have friends like that. If they make a gamble on a penny stock and, something over the counter like a pink sheet stock, they don't even want to see it in their account if it didn't pay off. And I'm like, you got to let it just sit there because it's going to go back up. And they're like, yeah, I know, but I just don't feel like looking at it. And that's the craziest attitude I've ever freaking heard. Just because you're gonna let your OCD get to you, just because you don't want to look at a low value stock sitting in your account. I mean, what the heck, man? One of my partners is that way. And on his Thinkorswim, I had to set up a folder and a different account just to hold things he doesn't want to look at. That's how crazy this guy is with OCD, man. Can you believe it? But anyways. Stay green, God bless, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.